Kevin Durant recently spoke out on his podcast called The Boardroom. I believe The Boardroom is the name of the podcast, on why he didn't join the Knicks in the summer of 2019. He was asked by his agent about why he didn't join. So I'm just going to read out the quotes. Here's what his agent, Rich Kleiman, had to say. "I wanted you to go to the Knicks." Kevin Durant's response: "Oh, definitely. My dad, you, Unc, love the Knicks. Everybody." Kleinman said, "Admit the Knicks are cool." Kevin Durant's response: "At that time, they weren't. The Knicks weren't cool, but they are a cool brand. Like right now, they poppin'. Last few years, but before that, the brand was cool, but I was looking at the team, and the team was not cool to play for. The team was not cool to watch. I might have embellished or lied a little bit about the brand. I might have thrown the brand in there too. But of course, the Knicks brand, like living in New York, made me truly realize how it's the greatest city in the world." I think Kevin Durant is actually not being 100% truthful on why he didn't join the Knicks. I felt this was kind of like a passive response. He's absolutely right that playing for the Knicks back then wasn't cool at all. But the Knicks are the marquee franchise of New York, for being honest. New York does not care about the Nets. They will always be second rate to the Knicks. That's the same thing with the Clippers. They will always be second rate to the Lakers. So if you're not part of either of those marquee franchises, both cities don't really get behind you. They kind of acknowledge you're there, but even when you're winning, they don't really care much about you. So I would always say that the Knicks would be a bigger priority than the Nets if you want to play in New York, or at least get respect and acknowledgement. Now, if you just want to be in New York and have a fun time and not have to have the pressure of dealing with the media and everything, then you would go to the Nets. The Nets are perfect because there's no pressure to win there. You can have a great time, and I feel that gives the Nets a huge advantage against the Knicks in free agency, or at least it did up until now. But I think the real deal on why Kevin Durant didn't join the Knicks back then was because of James Dolan. That James Dolan was not a credible owner. This is what I don't blame Durant about, not wanting to play for James Dolan, because nobody wanted to play for Dolan. Dolan was a crazy owner. He was very irrational, impulsive. He made a lot of bad moves. So of course you don't want to play for a guy like that, a guy who is unstable and does not know how to build a winner. That was Dolan. I have no problems with Durant not wanting to play for that guy. I'm not even a Knicks fan, and I wouldn't want to play for Dolan, to be honest. I wouldn't trust him, knowing his track record prior to the recent success the Knicks have gotten the last few years. He was just a terrible owner. Now, with that being said, like I said, I still think this shows Durant's passive, but because he can't be 100% honest about not wanting to play for Dolan, that shows his passive aggressive nature. He couldn't just straight up say that, hey, I just didn't want to play for Dolan. I didn't trust him. I would actually have respected that answer, to be honest, instead of going into the detail he went into. He could have just said straight up, I thought Dolan was a bad owner, and I just didn't trust him with my career. I didn't think he could help me win, so I didn't want to be there. That would have been the great answer, but Durant, like always, showed that he was passive aggressive. This is one of those traits of Durant I feel that really holds him back from being a GOAT-like player. And I think obviously at this point in time of his career, it's too late for him to make a run to be a GOAT. But I think that really held him back throughout his career, that he couldn't be honest with himself, couldn't tell the truth. It's kind of like when he was in OKC, he would be passive aggressive with Russell Westbrook. He would say he didn't mind him hogging the ball or taking the shots he took, and he wanted to be aggressive, but behind closed doors, we all knew that he hated playing for Russell, that he didn't enjoy playing for Russell Westbrook at all. That was the biggest reason why he left OKC, because he didn't believe Russell Westbrook could play in a system that would have been conducive to winning. So that's really what I wanted to say about this, that it just reflects Durant's passive aggressive nature. And like I said, he's not going to ever win, I think, going forward, at least another title with his mentality.